We've got a question from the audience. What do you guys think about the cable while we're on the dollar? Might as well take a pit stop over at the cable.
Well, I'm gonna let the man in that country speak to this. So
which one?
Go for it. Go for it, Ryan. Go for it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bucking bronco at the moment, isn't it? You know, I haven't got much tech on this chart, but to me it's quite messy. You know, it's got wide range. I like trading cable at the moment. I don't like trading cable because it's just all over the place. I prefer euro sterling. Again, this is another trade I've got on that I've been in for a long while, and you know, when you're playing the central bank divergences, cable really is a wild one. I mean, we had the Bank of England, you know, last week, where we nearly got a 50 pip hike, which would have surprised the markets. And then we get Bailey coming out in the presser, and I don't know, he just shot it to bits. You know, he came out saying, "Oh, you know, we know inflation's going up, but please don't go and ask for your bosses for wage rises." And you're like, "What the hell are you talking about? Well, what are you hiking for? You know, you get hiking, you can squeeze people's incomes, but they can't go and look for a wage rise." But anyway, so back to cable. I think a lot of it right now is trading on the back of the dollar, more so than the pound. And we're seeing this range, you know, anywhere down, you know, 135. If it cracks under 135 and starts holding under there, then you've got to really stick with shorts. But until we break something like 137, even up to 138, I feel we're just gonna keep ranging. But you know, it's been there a while, and we are getting these shifts in central banks now. So you know, if we are going to see a turn in the dollar because the Fed's fully priced, then this has got some potential upside. I mean, if you're looking at the wider picture, you know, there's a hell of a lot of resistance up at this sort of 142, 143 area. Again, I haven't got any on it here at the moment, but you know, I've got a ton of fibs up there as well. Really big zone, you know, got that 145 sitting there as well. Conversely, if we break down, you've got to be looking at 130, get under there, and we're heading down to some of those lows again, you know, maybe the mid 120s. So yeah, real wild horse at the moment, but I still prefer to, if I'm playing sterling, I'd rather play against the euro.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
So I'll bring in, so here's a long-term cable chart. This is just the, you know, 2007, 2014 line. We've kind of been trading along that. And again, this is all my charts, by the way. These are all log scale. So people are wondering at home and they're drawing something that doesn't look anything like mine. It's probably because you're on arithmetic scale. But yeah, I mean, we've been trading along this, you know, trend line for a year. This was the February high last year. So from a very long-term, just, you know, any simple chart view, you know, this is a pretty important test. We've kind of been testing it for a year. Trading wise, near term for me, I think we've got something maybe like this. If I'm looking at this from an Elliott perspective, right? Kind of got a nice impulsive rally here. That little spike today, B, maybe. So for those out there that do follow Elliott, this maybe is an expanded flat that's underway. But yeah, I am not trading British pound at the moment. I will point out, I think euro is probably a better long on a swing or longer term basis than pound, just based on this chart. This is euro pound, and it's a big giant range, and has been for 5 years, right? I mean, you've got massive resistance, massive support. Like the direct middle of that range has also been a pivot at times. You know, for those candle folks out there, huge, you know, outside weekly reversal last week. So I don't know. You know, that suggests to me that euro is probably the better trade relative to pound. That doesn't mean that you know, pound has to tank, or you know, they could just both go higher and pound could be less. So I don't know. But yeah, euro's cleaner to me, and euro pound actually does look okay on the long side, although I trade mostly dollar pairs. But that's kind of my 2 cents there.
Excellent.
I agree with that view. You know, that 83 handle was massive. You know, the 2019, 2020 lows. as I say, I've been short since 91.80, and that was my target to get out last week. Unfortunately, it fell on the BOE and ECB day, and I got the break. I've been waiting for this break of 83 for weeks, and then we got down to that level again. I didn't react quick enough to take anything off, and it's huge level. But what do you think when you get levels like this?
That was a fast move too.
Yeah, it was literally 15, 20 minutes between, when the BOE started their presser and when the ECB had their decision and all the notes came out. But, it's funny when you look at technical analysis like this, you get a huge level like that. All people are going to remember that for is that it was a technical level and it held. Not a lot of people remember the reason that changed, the reason that became a level was because of the change from the ECB. They came in, they changed their tone, bang, off it went. And I ended up getting out most of my short that I've held for over 18 months, 83.68. I think I folded most of it because it's the end of the road. When you look at expectations and you get the ECB changing, bang, it's gone. But I love levels like that. That will go into the memory bank. The line will sit there on my chart for ages because if you want a perfect technical level that plays well, you've got nothing better than that one there. It's
100%.
It's beautiful.
Well, speaking of crazy important technical levels, and while we're on British pound, I'll bring in this chart of pound yen. So, here today, we didn't quite trade above that high from October last year, but you can see this red line here, right? Why is it red? Because it happens to be where we closed the day before Brexit. And that's been a very, very sticky level. Like each time we've traded up there or near it since, that day in 2016, we've traded off pretty hard. This was back in October. Again, 158 down to 149. Did it again back here in January, and here we are again. So, much like dollar yen, nearing that huge 117, 30 level, excuse me, pound yen is testing its own level right now. Again, I don't have a dog in this fight at all, but I just think it's interesting that we're trading at that pre-Brexit level in pound yen, which of course was, just a insane move. I don't know. I don't have much to think about this. I don't know, Ryan, if you have any thoughts on pound yen at all, but
not specifically, but you look at charts, you look at levels. What do you do against that? You maybe try a short into that level again, but I'll be looking like I would any level. When you've got big levels like that, if it's going to break, it's going to go. So if you're going to, a level's a level until it's not, as we like to say. So I would go with a short into that level perhaps, but I'll be flipping to long if it breaks. So maybe some 20, 30 pips above it.
Yeah. I love what we are. We're kind of similar, I guess. I'm starting to realize this. I say the same thing. Resistance is resistance until broken, right? Support until broken. Same idea. So yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah. Just a quick detour, guys, because you said something interesting, Jamie. You said you switched to a candle chart. Were you on Hikinashi before that?
No, just on bar charts. I toggle between bar charts and candles. So.
Oh right. Okay. Excellent. Any particular reason?
Well, one reason I tend to look at bar charts is if I'm looking at. First of all, if you zoom out far enough, you can't really tell a difference anyway. But
sure.
One reason I look at so let's see if I can get like a good example. I don't know. From an Elliott perspective, for me, like looking at bar charts, I can see the patterns a little bit more. Just the way that my eye works, everyone's different, right? But you zoom in, change it to candle. I don't know. It's the pattern doesn't stick out as much, but they both have their uses. Maybe you can see the emotion a little more because you can see the wicks a little bit more accentuated. But yeah, they both serve their purpose.